Shall I move to the next one? Okay. So it is simple, guys. Okay. It gives us tools such as Hive and Pig. What do they do? Well, they take simple English-like statements or SQL-like statements, and it will hide us from the complexities of Java, MapReduce, and the internal complexities such as multi-node, threading, processing, and all those things, guys. Okay. It reduces the complexity. These tools will help us in reducing the complexity, and we are unaware of the fact on how many nodes it is running. It can run on 10 nodes, 100 nodes, or 1000 nodes, guys. Okay. So conceptually, all these computers are acting like a single operating system. Okay. With a single CPU on disk. But physically, there are many, many nodes with different CPUs, processors, and RAMs and sizes in their own capacity, guys. Okay. Gentlemen, ladies, shall I move on to the next slide? Okay. So why Hadoop, guys? So let's take a look at it from a characteristic standpoint or more from a developer standpoint. Okay. So let's see, come here, see what we got here. So it's accessible. It runs on large clusters of commodity machines. You don't need expensive enterprise class servers. You can use cheap, inexpensive machines, and it is robust. It is architected with the assumption of frequent hardware malfunctions. Okay, the reason is we use commodity hardware. We don't use enterprise class hardware. Huh? Commodity hardware don't give you the guarantee on the reliability or the uptime. Okay, so that's why these machines can fail any time. So Hadoop was architected, it is built with the assumption that to handle such hardware malfunctions, guys. Okay, what does it do? It will gracefully handle. What does that mean? You don't have to stop your application or stop all your users from using the Hadoop. It can automatically take care of those things. Okay, and it is scalable, guys. Okay, it scales linearly to handle larger data by adding more nodes. Okay, if you have one node which is taking 10 hours in Hadoop, you add 10 nodes, your computation time will decrease to 1 hour, guys. That is called linear scalability, guys. Okay, and it is simple. What is simple? Well, it allows users to quickly write efficient parallel code. Okay, what does that mean? You just write the business logic and the analytical logic, guys. You don't worry about the parallelization and all the internal complexities. Okay, what is it doing? It is keeping it simple. If you're a cricket player, you focus on batting and bowling. Okay, what does Hadoop give you? Hadoop takes care of the stadium. It will clean the chairs. The stadium is taking care of the maintenance of the chairs, pitch, and the chairs and the stadium. Hadoop is becoming your stadium. What do? You just come into the stadium and you just focus on batting and bowling. What is that? The business logic and the analytical logic, guys. Okay, and we have seen what is moving computation to the data, guys. Okay, writing a file or putting a file in HDFS is like uploading a video in YouTube, guys. Okay, once you upload it, all over the world, lots of people come and they're viewing it. What is that? They're reading it. They're analyzing your video, guys. Okay, that is what you can think of. Okay, so what is happening? Data is uploaded once, and later the code, different developers will use different tools to access your code and analyze your code. Some may be comfortable in Pig, some may be comfortable in Hive. What do? When they write, these tools will go ahead and generate a Java jar file. Then they will move the computation. They will move the jar file to the place where your data sits, guys. Okay, that is what is called data locality. It is one of the fundamental design principles of Hadoop, is what they refer it to as, guys. Okay, and replication. It uses replication across servers to deal with unreliable storage and servers. We've seen the Hadoop will split, it will distribute the blocks, and then it will go ahead and replicate the blocks, guys. Okay, why? If one of the server goes down, because it's a commodity hardware, we have the backup of data available there. What does that mean? It is replicating to make it reliable. Am I making sense, guys? Can you make quick acknowledgement? What are all these things? These are nothing but these are all the things which the developers were manually taking care of prior to the arrival of Hadoop. Developers would write the code for all these things manually, guys. Okay, now Hadoop takes care of that. In other words, you don't clean the chairs, you don't maintain the stadium. You just focus on batting and bowling. Yeah, the modules is what the tools is what I'm referring to, Sandeep. Okay, how does it handle the hardware? Well, you have backup available, right, Sandeep? If one replica goes down, there's another replica, and you get a request, hey, give me my data. It will go to the second server and return your data, or it will go to the second server and perform your computation. So that is what we mean by it is gracefully handling the malfunctions. Make sense, Sandeep? Okay. And another important point, guys, all this have been manually being taken care of by the developers. Today, they do not have to take care of that. Okay. Naresh, Vivek, and Lokesh, doing okay, guys? Okay. So these are the characteristics are from a developer standpoint, why we would like to use Hadoop and what is the advantage of Hadoop. It's more from a developer standpoint, guys, not from a company standpoint, guys. Okay, from a company standpoint, let's try to understand what's the things. Okay, what is it that they are, what is it driving them to use Hadoop? Okay, bigger the data, higher the value. What companies were doing, guys, is if they have lots of data, what they will do is, let's say they have 10 to 20 years of data, they will take the last 1 year, 2 year, or 5 years of data. They will keep the data and archive the rest of the data. They will not keep most of the 15 to 20 years of the data, guys. They will just archive it and it is not used. And then this 1 to 5 years of data is what they analyze and they will try to get the results of it. Okay. Now to understand that one, guys, let me give you an example. Okay. Here's a quick puzzle for you, guys. Okay. Type in the answer if you can. Okay. If I were to say you, Sachin hit a century, Sachin hit a century in one match, and if I were to ask you, he's playing a second game today, will he hit a century? If I were to ask you, do you think it is easy, tough, or very tough to answer that question, guys? I'll repeat the question. Sachin hit a century in the previous match. He's playing the second game today, and I'm asking you, is he going to hit another century? Do you think it's easy, it's tough, or very tough? Think from a common man's standpoint. You don't need to be a software engineer for that. It's easy. Sandeep says it's easy. How about others, guys? Depends on previous records. Okay, the only record I have given you is that one. This is Sachin's second game. Soumya. Sandeep says he's a class player, so it looks like he's a fan of Sachin, guys. Huh? I can understand that, Sandeep. Huh? Good. But short and sweet, for a common man, it would be tough to say, guys. Okay? You cannot just say, because he hit a century in the previous game, he's getting ready to hit another century in this game. But here's another question, guys. Sachin hit 2 straight centuries. He's playing the third game today. And if I were to ask you, will he hit a century today? Is it going to be easy, very easy, tough, or very tough, guys? I think Sandeep will say it's very easy. But again, think from a common man standpoint. Any take on that, guys? What would you say? Vivek says it's very tough. All right, doesn't look like he likes Sachin. Cannot say acceptable. We cannot really promise. But logically, guys, you'll be slightly more confident. Maybe he's in good form. He hit 2 straight centuries, man. Maybe he's getting ready. He appears to be in good form. Logically, that is what you think. But here is the magic, guys. Okay. Sachin hit straight 9 centuries and he's getting ready to play the 10th game today. And I ask you, will he hit a century? What is your take, guys? Easy, very easy, tough, or very tough? More chances. Wonderful. Precise answer, guys. Very, very easy, says Vivek. Okay? Or in other words, more the data, more the probability, more the possibility. Okay? If you have more data available, there is more value in it. What companies are doing when they have more data, when they have 15 to 20 years of data, they were throwing away 10 to 15, 10 years of data and just keep 5 years of data. So what does that mean? Less the data, less the possibility, and less the value, guys. What is happening today? Hadoop says, don't throw any data. Keep the data alive. If you keep the data alive, you can get higher value. Okay? That's one of the reasons. Pardon me, sorry about that, guys. So that's one of the reasons, more the data you have, more the value you get. Am I making sense, guys? Can you give me a quick acknowledgement?